Hey, Pearl, how are you today? Hey, and here's Minnie. Look at the pretty flowers I just planted. What? Oh, you're right. I almost forgot. Another day of SoulCARE.
Hey, everybody. How are you? Happy May 1st. It's May Day. Woo! We should have a flagpole here, shouldn't we? May flagpole. Is that a thing? I think it's a thing. Used to be a thing in my day when I grew up. That Mayflower pole day. May pole day. Maybe tonight we'll do it for both sides down beyond. How are you? How was your weekend, everybody? I hope you had a nice weekend. And May is my favorite month of the year. Here where I live in San Diego, it used to be April, May, but now it's definitely May because all of my flowers come out in my garden in May. Even though we've had a really messed up, strange, bizarro atmosphere conditions and atmosphere rivers and so forth, the flowers have started coming up. So that's good. So in honor of that, around the 8th of May, I'm going to have a flower sale. So I'm going to celebrate 25% off of my courses, except for the certification courses. All the rest will be 25% off. Because I'm going to do garden tours in my garden. And each day we'll have a different flower, and I'll do a little tour for you. I'll do some Facebook Lives. So make sure that you're on my email list to get everything, and you're on Facebook also on my list here, which you are now because you're here. But if you want anyone else to know about it, please feel free to tell them, because I'll be walking around my garden giving tours and talk about flowers, and it'll be a flower tour. Hi, Laura. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Amy. Hi, Janice. Linda from Minnesota. My gnomes are watching our garden. I like that side. My gnomes are watching my garden. And also the Diva Kingdom watching my garden. And all the elementals on my garden watch my garden. And yes, I do offer them some things. I offer them little food here and there. You know, they say, and I remember this from Ireland when I used to work there, they talk about the fairy rings and the little people and the different elementals. And of course, I've, for many years, have read about the elementals and several great books. Can't remember right now. G.D. Hodson books are really good about elementals. But I've worked with elementals, and they definitely enhance place, and they will work with you as long as there's a balance, a harmony with those worlds. With your harmony, you can't demand anything. You can't try to push things over on them. You have to work with them, in unison with them, and they will make your garden beautiful. And anyway, I do that. I honor them, as we should honor all life, I feel. May Day greetings from Windy City. Gardenia, hi, Hung. How are you, Gardenia Hung? Thank you. Hi, Marla Sharon Conley. Soaked. Yes, a lot of water. This year, this spring, beginning of the spring. Lots of floods and so forth. Very strange atmospheric conditions we're having. The big changes are amongst us for sure. No doubt about it. So, we can, it's interesting how you respond to those things, because nothing we can do in a way when we can help to do the best we can as far as joining organizations that help with causes about the atmosphere and about the land and so forth. I went to an environmental organizational gathering yesterday, but there's also things that are out of our control, and we don't want to go freak out with that sort of thing, because there's only so much we can do. So be aware of that. I love the saying that I've talked about often, the Buddhist saying, you can't push the river, you got to let it flow. And that's true in all life, all of our situations in life, that, you can't push the river, you got to let it flow, because it's going to be what's going to be. Everything is a divine plan. I had a wonderful teacher here this weekend on Friday, Ann Vanderwater, who was on my show, Both Sides Down and Beyond. She was here Friday night, her and her partner, Douglas. Very incredible people who I said to him, well, you're on my website. And she said, I don't think I am. And I looked and she wasn't. So I'm putting her on my website right away. She's a human design expert, healer, incredible healer, actually. She works in all the different modalities, and very bright, incredible being. That's all I'm going to say. She's definitely a star seed. You can see it. And she works a lot at a place called Rancho La Puerta in Mexico, and a lot in Esalen, California there. So I'll put her on my site. But that was a great way to start the weekend off with those two. We had a lovely time. One of the best times I've had with some friends gathering with the same mindset in a very long time, just to sit, have conversation, and a nice meal. So it was great. Good day, Sally. Hi. So good. Cindy, your son first time. Yay, good for him. Well, if he knew more about it, Cindy, he probably would want something to do with it. It's not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be scary to see ghosts. It's actually very natural. Unfortunately, society has pushed it into I think it goes back to probably religious days of controlling the masses. But actually, seeing spirit was a very natural thing for us. We're spirits in the body. They're spirits outside the body. That's the only difference. So why wouldn't you be able to see them and feel them and communicate with them? It's over that human thing that gets in the way. We had a wonderful global meditation last week, and I want to thank everybody for participating in that. It was I enjoyed it. I thought it was a great healing and a great experience. And it's so interesting because the more and more I do them, the more I get pushed to the side and let the spirit come through. And there was a floodgate of these beings. And so interesting because definitely from different star systems we're here, I'll tell you. And interesting how they work that meditation. To heal not only the individual, but then the planet. So it was good. So that's going to be next month. This month, end of this month, we'll have another one. But they're very good. So please make sure you tell people about those. And we'll have the Mayflower sale May 8th. And I also want to mention, some people asked about the cruise. There's still room there. We found out Friday there are 8 cabins left. So now is the time to get them because they will go probably by the end of this week. So there you go. There's your validation. I mean, I don't know what that was. I think it was validation. So stepping in the spirit world last cruise, and that's the 18th to 25th. And again, there's about 155 people there. So it's a good group. So it'll be probably 175. But if you are interested in your cabins, go get them now. That'd be a good thing to do. And I want to mention that to you. Okay. And the other thing is I will be traveling to Florida. I was supposed to be there last month, but the hurricanes and flooding in Fort Lauderdale postponed the event because people had to swim to the Parker Playhouse, and I didn't think that was fair that we would swim there. So I said, let's postpone it till May. So we're going back there May 27th. But before that, the week before that, I'll be in Tampa, Florida. There you go. Tampa, Florida. That's the first one. St. Petersburg, Tampa, Florida. St. Pete, Tampa, same place. Just two names for it. And that's bandpark.com. Sign up for that. That's a lovely place I worked there before, Center of Spiritual Living. It's a lovely community. So I'll be doing an evening of spirit there in person, and then also in person. Then in the following week at the Fort Lauderdale, that's the Parker Playhouse. Okay. There you go. The little meditation will be May 31st. That's the end of the month. So write that down. Lots going on, eh? I'm going to, yes, Elmi, I'm going to the UK. I'm coming to the UK in October. I'm doing a tour through Scotland and England, and that'll be up on the website as soon as we have those dates and those places, the venues nailed down. That'll be on there. I'm not sure if we're sold out. I'm with Gordon Smith. We might be sold out, but we can always add some dates if people are interested. So there we go. Oh, good, Sandra. See you soon. Elaine White. Hi, Elaine. I'd love to be your student. How can I do that? Is there a link where I could go? Yes, Elaine, write this down, the JVP School of Mystical Arts. I think Renee might have that on there too. It's my school page, and there are a lot of different courses there. The JVP School of Mystical Arts. There you go. Thanks, Renee. So write that down. I don't know if it links right to it, but that's the school. And there are many courses of all different levels, from very beginning to ones that are a little more advanced. Besides the flower course, I'm also going to put in action because it's been this past year such an incredible course for so many people. Not only did they mention the 28-day transformation course, but they also mentioned that the course Forgiving the Unforgivable has changed their life with themselves and with people they've given it to and their families. So I'm going to put that back up for sale. I do that because I want more people to take them because it'll help more people. It doesn't cost a lot. It's like $20, but it's not the money. It's what's in there. These are secrets. These are formulas that will help you. So I'll talk more about it next week because that's when it goes on sale. But Forgiving the Unforgivable course is really, really great. So we'll have that right before the flower course. Okay. Well, thanks, Renee. There you go. They can click it right there into my name. Okay, sweetie. Hi, Cindy. I wish I could make the cruise. I'm excited to hear all about it. Okay, Cindy, you'll hear all about it. I wish we could do a live feed, but we're not allowed to do that for the celebrity cruise. They won't allow us to do that. But I wish we could. Okay. Do spirits follow you on cruises? Well, Colleen, think of it this way. They don't follow us. They're always around us. So they go wherever we go. So they go there, sure. They're all around us all the time. And all of the spheres and levels and awareness that they're all around us all the time. There isn't, we have to think outside the human. There's no beginning, no end, and they're outside of time. So they're just present with us because they love us so much. They're part of our everyday existence. Isn't that interesting? Okay. Can we have a copy of the Global Meditation? It was wonderful. Andrea, I'll find out, Andrea, if we can or not, because that's a good question. I thought about that earlier, and I will find out the answer to that question. Just make sure that that's fine. I'll make sure to answer that. Okay. James Emperor, have you ever thought about coming to MO? I assume MO is Missouri, Laura? I've been to Missouri. I've been to Missouri twice, a long time ago. Not recently. Haven't thought about it recently, but anytime someone wants to invite me there and there's a venue that wants to take me on there, I'll be more than happy to go. Okay. Can everyone be psychic? Colleen asks, can everyone be psychic? Can we all connect to the spirit world? Yes. You can be, Colleen. You can be psychic. Everybody is psychic. So that's number one. And everybody can connect to the spirit world. Again, because you're a spirit in the body, in the flesh. They're about spirit right outside the flesh. So when you're able to raise up your frequency, your vibration, and open yourself up, they just step within your mind space, and you're able to interpret and hear them. You just got to surrender. So it takes a little bit of the human trying to let go and surrender their mind so the spirit people can come through. There are courses coming up. I'm working with a company called the Shift Network, and that will be in June. And we're doing a whole 7-week module about that. So that'll be on my website as well. Okay. So you'll get we have that course. Okay. Hi, Tammy. Hi, James. What does it mean when you see your birthday? I see all the time 7/13. Well, I don't know, but I obviously pay attention to that. And whenever that happens, when you see numbers like that, and they're continuously, you're seeing synchronistic numbers all the time, ask at that moment, what are you showing me this for? Kind of like make a blank slate in your brain, in your mind. And what are you showing me this for? What must I pay attention to? And you'll get the answer right away. Or the good way to do it is this: when you see those numbers, take your hand to your heart. Say, why am I being shown this? And I want you to go to your heart here, put your hands here, because then your heart will tell you, and you'll listen with your heart, with your intuition, let's say. But if your head, you'll rationalize it. You might be critical thinking about it. So you want to be more with your heart space, that intuitive part. That's why I say physically go to your heart. Say, why am I being shown this? Best way. Hi, Nancy. I'm ready to start to learn and dive into the chakras. Woo! I want to know your thoughts on stones and how they work with opening up your chakras when they're blocked. Oh, that's a very good question. Psychic Portals 101 is a course that has that information in there. That's a good course for that. That's when I would I would go into that. And Psychic Certification 1 also has that. Why don't you look through both of those and see which one talks specifically about the stones for each chakra, because I do talk about that quite a bit. I also talk about that, and I've been very busy. An upcoming course I'm developing, probably ready at the end of June, beginning of July, and that's a meditation course. It's going to be a really great, thorough meditation course, which is being edited right now. And I go into depth about stones and the chakras and how you can tell when you're blocked and when you're too open and what to do in that case, and how to pay attention to that glandular system of the body that's associated with each chakra point, and which gland is associated with the organ and so forth. So that'll be the meditation course. But I have it in Psychic Portals, and I do think I have it in the Psychic Certification course. But go through them and look and see if it has it in there. Okay? Okay, sweetheart. I connect more with spirit at night, but lately the connection hasn't been as clear. Is it common to go through waves of being more open at certain times of spirit? Sure, Diane, it is. So what I would do in your case is keep a journal of next to your bed, and when you're aware of spirit, what happens? Where's your brain? What are you thinking about? What are you not thinking about? What's it like? What's the atmosphere like around you that you're open for them to come in? And when you don't hear them, don't experience that, what's going on again? Write down what's going on in your brain. What's going on? Are you overthinking things? Are you putting something, blocking it? Are you in the way? Because you'll find they're probably more in the way or overthinking something or worried about something. And that space being crowded with worry or concern. And that won't give them enough space to come in to feed you. How does that? So I would do it that way and look at yourself like that. Like, see what's going on. What part of me is not being open to receive? And it's different for each person, by the way. So there's every medium is different. Every person is different. And sometimes I connect more with the spirit at night because at nighttime we relax. You see, we're relaxing and we're drifting into those altered states. So one can do that during the day if they program themselves, if you will, or learn to surrender themselves to go to those levels and open up, and they can do that. But it's night because we're drifting off, so you're letting yourself relax. But you can also do it during the day. Okay, good luck for that. Shauna Muller, what would be your advice during this retrograde? It's been a wacky week, and tonight, Kelly White, my good friend Kelly, hi Kelly, I know you're watching. We'll be doing a little bit of astrology about this Mercury retrograde, and we're in eclipse season as well. So between two eclipses, and we have Mercury retrograde, and Mars is out of bounds, and we have all these bang, 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 bang with Jupiter and Uranus and all these things hitting each other, these planets. So of course, it's going to create some havoc and some feeling of insecurity and feel like, wow. I call it like when I was a kid, we had an amusement park, and it was always what's called the tilt-a-whirl machine. A lot of you remember the tilt-a-whirl. We'd hold on to the sides and it goes around and around like a centrifuge and be thrown. I feels like that. The energy's kind of been like that. But I say then lately, it feels as if the tilt-a-whirl has lost its ball bearings and it's floating down the street haywire. That's what it feels like. It's kind of crazy. But again, whenever that craziness comes in, you can't get caught up in it. You got to ground yourself, center yourself. And that's a matter of just closing your eyes for like 2 or 3 minutes and connecting to Mother Earth. How do you do that? Imagine that your feet are roots of a tree going down to the center of the earth and tying up to the center of the earth, being a big boulder in the middle of the earth and tying yourself down to that big boulder and feeling the nurturing energy that Mother Earth gives of production. She helps all wildlife to grow. There's nutrients there. So she nurtures us. So bring that nurturing, healing energy, that grounding energy up to the body, up to your legs and your chest, and your shoulders, arms, head, and be in that grounding, centering place. And you can kind of watch the craziness, but not be part of the craziness. Very important, because a lot of people that are especially sensitives tend to go off, tend to go, whoa, and they're out of it. It's so funny. I mean, this is just a funny little joke I have, which I always love to joke. But because everyone takes things seriously, and it shouldn't be taken so seriously, we're all going to die. It's part of life, which is the best part of life, I think, is going home. But yeah, it's as if, I heard once that this person say, oh, they're so spiritual. They're so spiritual. They're just so out of it, man. I remember the class I taught years ago, 25 years ago. And it was at my old house I used to have in Los Angeles. And there was a girl there. And this happened not just this girl, but a lot of people have done this. I'm so spiritual. I'm so spiritual. I'm just so out of it, man. I'm so out of it. Oh, I'm so out of it. I said, well, if you're out of it, then who's in it? Who's in the body? If you're out of the body, then who's in the body? Because you're certainly opening up that door for someone to come in. So that's a matter of focus. It's a matter of being aware. It's a matter of mindfulness. It's a matter of being very, very aware spiritually, but also be aware of your centered, grounded body. You have to be, we're of the earth here. We were part of the earth in this incarnation. We are human beings. We're souls having a human experience. And part of that human experience is being in the physical body, not being away from the physical body, being in the physical body, by experiencing everything with the physical limitations, but being aware. It's almost like a flower just taking off, but just fully planted in the earth. That's really what we should be looking at. Okay. Hi, Dave. My hope is that more people can realize who we truly are, limitless, eternal beings. That's exactly right. This life is just a small part of it. Thank you. It's true. It's very, very true, Dave. I wish that every single day that people would realize that this human part of us is just so small, and that the real important thing is that we're all connected, that we're not separated, that we're part of every single other individual in this world, in this earth world, no matter what language they speak, no matter what status they are as far as wealth or non-wealth, poor, rich, doesn't matter. Nationality, it doesn't matter. There are no nationalities in the spirit world. It's really broken up to how the good that you do in the world, the good that you do in this human life. You end up in a place you've created based upon the goodness that you've done, not the judgments, not the limitations, not the fear. If you hurt people, if you judge people, if you're limiting, you're going to end up in a place like that. And there'll be other souls that are just like that around you. Like attracts likes. You will end up in a world where there are other people who are fearful and judgmental and critical and angry and upset. And that's going to be your heaven or your hell based on how you created it. So to me, that sounds like a hell. So in this world, I try to do the best I can. And it's all a spirit of rest is that we do the best we can with what we're given. And we try to really try to see that God light, that oneness in each person. Remember, to me, love is one, which is that source energy, whatever you want to call it, divine, that God light, whatever you want to call that. And I say God is love, love is God, and love is that one, because we're all one, which is ONE, omnipresent, nurturing energy. And it really is what I believe, that we're all part of that same energy. It's amazing. But in each incarnation we take on different garb, different faces, different languages, different spaces and places on this planet to come back to learn and to grow and perhaps to teach. And we need to be that certain personality. We need to be that certain nationality in order to understand and teach others and to learn from others. But based upon that, that could be karmic reasons as well. It's the best opportune time and situation for us to grow the most about ourselves. The biggest mistake I think most people have is they think of the world out there instead of in here. They pay more attention to the outside instead of the inside. And they've really got to nurture and really the inside of yourself, not the outside. Doesn't matter what people think of you. Doesn't matter what's going on out there. What matters is here, how you treat people, what you do with the situation, how you're treating yourself, how much do you love yourself. You know, my sister just recently passed over, came back. She said, I really regret not loving myself more. I could have really taken the time to love myself more, but I lived a little bit in fear. And she did. And we all should assess ourselves in life and see what motivates us in a fear level and what motivates us in a love level. And you'll be very surprised. And fear, again, is a limited human emotion. And love is spiritual. Love is who we are. Love is outside this space. Love is who we're made from. Fear is just a created human emotion, just to do with this earth. There's no fear anywhere else, just here. So I'd rather be the eternal and the self, living in that vibration of love, peace, oneness that we all are, instead of living in some foreign, elusive, emotional energy, which does nothing but hurts and makes us sad and depressed and whatever else does, creates wars and power plays and all that sort of thing. So just from me. Okay. I go off my soapbox, but I have to. You guys understand. Hi, Sandra. For the past year, I have felt driven to follow a certain path. That seems crazy. You're talking to someone who talks to dead people. Hello. But I feel like I have no control. Oh, well, you don't have any control. You have none. You have no control. Does the universe lead you where you need to be and let go of the next phase in your life? It's painful. So let me unpack this because there's a lot here for you. So you felt driven to a certain path that seems crazy. Yes, certain ways of the things that we do in life are not following the book that the book that the society says we should, or our parents say we should, or friends say we should, or that makes even sense. Most of the inventions of the world are made from people that don't follow the rules. So don't have to follow the rules. Just follow the rules that are for you, that are right for you. Be who you are. Don't be anyone else but yourself, please. No, everyone else is taken. Be yourself, right? So it seems like crazy. I don't know if we're going to put judgment on it. I don't know what crazy means anymore. Some certain psychological things, of course, we know crazy, but this type of work, we don't talk about crazy. There is no control. Nobody has control. You can't control other people. You can't control situations. The only thing you can control is how you respond to things. Yes. The other part about the universe always has you. We're divinely led. It's created in a divine way, in an etheric divine way. So how could you as a human understand what they're doing over there to make things happen for you? They'll be doing things over there. They'll pull some strings over there in ways you wouldn't even think about because you can't. You're in the human space, not the spiritual space. So what does that mean? It means you have to have faith. You have to believe in yourself, that you are led, that you were not dropped down here arbitrarily, that you indeed are meant to be here and it being guided. by your loved ones, your guides, your teachers. They are taking care of you, but it'll be so much better and easier if you love yourself and have faith that you're doing the right thing. Use your intuition. The problem with you is you get mixed up with your head and your heart. You got to go with your heart. You might have been programmed with your head, or you might have been naturally born that way as a mental type of person, headstrong like Gemini, or a mental person, Aquarius, thinking all the time. But you got to go to your heart. The heart will tell you the truth. So, and painful. Life is lessons are not always easy. The hardest lessons in life are the most painful ones. The ones we grow from the most, though. The most advanced ones we grow from the most. Not easy, but it's just an experience, an opportunity to learn something new. And you say it's painful, it's probably something brand new you've never done before. And why would it be painful? That probably because you're worried about what other people think of it. Don't care what other people think, and don't care about the money, because if you do the right thing, the money always follows. I knew that when I quit Paramount Studios years ago, and Spirit said, if you work with us, we'll always take care of you. You'll be not in any need. And I had the faith and belief to believe that. And I gave up everything. I had no money. I had no clientele. I had no insurance, no rent. How was I going to get all these things? I started doing Spirit's work, and one by one, and it was all word of mouth. And it grew very quickly. And I was just being honest with the work and myself, and how I was getting things and so forth. And it worked out because I was doing it the right way. I was following my heart, my intuition. So that's my advice for you, sweetheart. Okay? Heart, not head. Okay, Sandra. Thank you. Okay. One question before you, Jamie. Ann Rogers says, how long to wait before you can connect with those who pass away? And it's a good question. They can come right away. It depends on the type of death that they had, the experience they had to leave the body or to shed the skin, my sister said. Because I've done readings where I've done a demonstration from an audience of 700 people once. And this girl received a reading from her mother, and she said, my mother's alive. I said, well, she's speaking to me right now. And she, of course, came through with things. And she said, no, I'm here now. I'm here with this person and that person. And the daughter went home and called a friend who was still at my event doing a book signing. And she said, my mom passed on my way to the demonstration. She had passed. So they come right back away, or you can wait. It depends on the type of passing. It depends on the belief system. If it was a hard passing, it was a rough passing with, like, let's say, a physical ailment like a cancer, and they're traumatized and really in pain. I'd give them a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, or a month or a couple of months, just to adapt to the new environment. It depends on the death, but some can come right away, and some I give them a little bit of time to adapt, depending on the death. Okay. I know we had to call. Yeah, but Jamie, good for you, Jamie. I'm very happy you're taking Mediumship 1. Good girl. Thank you very much for reminding me, Jamie. People that want Mediumship 1, we're extending that for this week. So there were a lot of people that didn't get in on time, and they missed the first couple of calls. So we have those. You can catch up on all that for the next time. So Mediumship 1 is go to my school, JP School of Mystical Arts, and you can sign up for that today. It's only this week that would take it off for 2 years. So this is a week to sign for Mediumship 1. And Renee, you have that right there with the school, right? So you have JP School up. You can put that up there, Renee, if you don't mind. There we go. That's it right there. Okay, that's Mediumship 1. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, we're extended that for this week because a lot more people said they didn't get in in time, or they didn't have the phone call. I said, no, you can get the phone calls we've done, even for all of them. It doesn't matter where you start. Don't have to be right on time. You go back to lesson 1 and do 2. Take your time. It's fine. But I will be stopping it after this week. This will be the last week to register, and after that, it won't be for another 2 years, available for another 2 years. So now is the time, kiddos. That's a good question. You can pay in installments. There's a easy way to pay for that. And you can take it over and over and over again, and that's yours for life. And all I ask, and it's an honor kind of concept, in that if you're going to give it to someone, I would say, that's up to you. But it's energy that I created. That took me a long time, so that's why you have to charge for it. And if you give it away to free to someone, I can't do anything about that, right? So there you go. Hi, James. Hi, S. What do you think about Reiki? I'm using it sometimes. Thank you. I think Reiki is another form of healing that uses universal energy to bring balance into the person that you're working with, the animal or the plant life or the kingdom. So I think it's another form of universal energy focused to a certain space. Okay. Janice, James, have you ever taught about how sound and tone vibrations help heal? No, I've never spoken about that. Um, I haven't done that one. Yes, I do believe in it. I've had sound baths and sound healings. I do believe in that. It's a form of healing. So I did talk about it in the healing course. I talk about it in my healing course. I talk about it, the different frequencies, the different notes that you use for different parts of the body. I do talk about it in the healing certification course. Thank you, Ellie. God bless you, James. Your spiritual guidance has been for many years. Thank you. I'm glad it has, Ellie. It feels the connection is too strong. It's about my dreams, and I need to go meditate. Right. So, Ellie, in order to, when sometimes you feel overwhelmed, just go out and breathe and ground yourself and center yourself. Even if you go out and lie on the ground, lie down with your arms down. I've done that. It's great. It happens immediately because we're electrical beings. We have to ground ourselves to Mother Earth. It's our grounding cord, Earth. So I often talk about that. There's a great YouTube I did. It's called the Star Seed when I had my beard, and there was COVID, and I did the Star Seed show, the series that everyone loved. I might do it again in a different way now that I have my doggy Pearl, but it's the one about grounding. Starseed YouTube, go to my YouTube channel, and it's a great one. It's about 15 minutes long, and talks all about all the ways one can ground themselves, whether it's touching a tree bark, the bark of a tree, or holding flowers, or bare feet, the different techniques or aspects of grounding and centering. That's a great way. So check that out, the YouTube channel, grounding. Starship, I think it's called Johnny Starship. Okay, what it says, me with the beard. Okay. Hi, Cindy again. I talk to spirit a lot in my head, that on my mind. I'm glad you do. That's where you should talk to them, in your mind, right? Can they hear me, or should I talk out loud? No, they don't need to talk out loud. They hear your thoughts. So remember, they're in a very mental world. We live in a physical world, so it's speak it out. In the spirit world, you send out a thought telepathically. It's all mental thought. So they hear your thoughts very clearly. They hear your thoughts down here very clearly, 10 times, 20 times, 30 times stronger there. So people wonder about the prayers. They say the people pass over, or loved ones, they hear them. Believe me, they hear them. A story I'm going to tell you, which is really interesting, which goes to this question you're asking, kind of another way of looking at this. There was a lady who came through for her daughter at a demonstration. And I remember that this lady, she had either a coma. She was very ill for a long time, physical illnesses and ailments for quite a while. She had bad legs and put in a wheelchair. She couldn't walk. She had some really bad things. She was aware, but then she was in a wheelchair, and then she would, many different things were on top of this lady. She had a lot of different ailments, and finally she had a coma. And she was for, about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I think, in this coma state. And her daughter would come and read her books, read her passages from spiritual books, mine being one of them, and different spiritual prayers, and say things about the afterlife and what to expect and so forth. And the lady came back, and I didn't know any of this until the lady came back from the spirit world. Her mother came back from the spirit world and said to her daughter, I want to thank you for reading me all those spiritual texts, those words, and those lovely prayers. She said, they were waiting for me when I arrived here. Every single word you said, every single book that you read, all those words of those books were waiting for me. And I received, and that was interesting. She said, I received all the energy from the how we put this to you, the energy behind those words that were given, the intention, and it was really beautiful how she received those words when she first passed over, and she said they really helped her when she first passed. So that was a good one. So they do hear us very much so. Amazing, the things that we know and learn from the other side of life, that everything we do here is heard, felt, seen, and over the other side very clearly. Again, that's the mental world. This is the physical world. So like when my sister just recently passed, she came back right away, and she said, that's not me in that bed, that box there. And we started laughing because I said, I know that's not you. She goes, that's the imposter. I said, yeah, that's the imposter. There you go. She said, it's not me. So she felt that there's often a feeling when they first leave the body of this disassociation. And I've heard that from hundreds and hundreds of thousands of spirits. They said, that's not me. I'm not. And many times I have people say, many times children to their parents, I'm not in the ground. Why do you look down at the ground and talk to me? That's ridiculous. I'm around you. I'm next to you. Same thing with cremation, with the urn. Why are you looking at that urn? I'm not in there. I'm around you. That's so ridiculous, they say. And when you think about it, it kind of is, because we're not that physical body. We're an energy. We're not physical. We're the energy, physical. This is a vessel, physical meat suit, physicality of what it really encloses, if you will, the energy of the spirit. But when the time to come, when we leave, for us to exit this body, we exit it very easily. We do it every night. We go to sleep, and at the end of our time, we graduate and leave very peacefully. And this is an empty carcass, heavy overcoat. We have no connection to it anymore. And it seems that the memorials and let's say religious ceremonies like funerals, masses, and so forth are for the living, not for the dead. Celebration of life is, I think, a wonderful thing to do. I mean, if I had anything, would be that, celebrating how life is different, or when one brought to the life to help people and change the world. I think that's really what's more about. But it's more for the living, not for the dead. They're happy where they are. They're happy they're out of it usually. Okay, thanks, Sydney. May Elizabeth Gonzalez. Hello, sweetheart. What do you think about shadow people? My husband always sees one in our bedroom. Shadow people. I think there in the Bible it says my father has a house with many mansions. And I think that there are many levels of and worlds beyond worlds and world within worlds. That might be a world, they're all around us, the spirit world. So there might be some that are very close there that you're able to perceive, definitely. And he is able to receive. I don't think they're negative or evil. I don't believe in evil. I don't. If everyone says they're evil, I think, you have a background of religion because it's taught to you from religion. You're seeing it through the lens of religion. So it's shadow people. I don't know. I haven't dealt a lot with that. They put that in my show, Ghost Whisper, the producers, and I was against it because I never dealt really with that. Not that they don't exist, but I think it creates an ism in the people's minds that there's something scared of. Evilism, frightenism. Anyway, I would say, you have God or you have light. And if anything of not of that, it would just disintegrate. Okay, so bring your minds to a higher level. Amy, hi, Amy. I am still meeting to meet my guides. Even just knowing a name would be awesome. I like to know who I'm chatting with all day. So, Amy, what are you doing to take the time to learn about them? What are you doing to sit down in the stillness and slowly opening up yourself to receive that information? There's not a button you can push and to hear them. You have to let yourself open yourself up and take the time to, to me, it's like respect. There's a sense of respecting them. Out of respect, I'm going to go where you are and go a little out of my space to be with you because I know you come down to be with me and just meet in the middle. The lovely ways. And I have a wonderful book about it. I have a wonderful course about it in the school about meeting your guides. Maybe that's a good beginning for sure. Hi, Lori. Can you give any sort of educated guess of how common it is to choose not to come back to Earth after some time lifetimes? Lori Smith. Well, Lori, it's up to you, the soul, when you're going to come back. It's almost that we pass over, we see all the work that we've accomplished, all the lessons that we were on our docket when we first came to this world. And we see how many of those tests we passed, how many lessons we passed, how many we didn't pass. And the ones we didn't learn things about, there'll be a desire in the soul to learn, to expand, to even know more things that we can help others with that knowledge later on. So it's up to the soul itself when they want to come back. When you first pass out of the world of time, this world, and you get over there, you realize, oh, wow, I did this and that. I like to learn this lesson. I should do it another time. But you have to remember, Lori, that this is not the only place to come back to. There are worlds within worlds or other spaces. There are millions of galaxies, not just one, millions. So there are many, many schools of learning in all different points in worlds within worlds. So it just depends on those aspects of the soul that you are wanting to perfect is where you go to. And that you realize it's always growing, it's always evolving, that there's no end to life. Life just continues, perhaps in a different form that we know it, but it does continue on. That's for sure. There's never any end. And there's nothing to fear. It's all about excitement, opportunity, looking to discover, that art of discovery, the excitement of learning something new, the excitement of opening up somebody else to love. That's where we should place our minds. Thanks, Larry. Okay, Joyce. I've been seeing spirits since I was a very little girl. Good. Can always sense a danger ahead of time. Ooh. I found out I am sixth generation and my grandmother seventh of these spiritual endeavors. Okay. I was taught not to say anything to others of what you feel or see. Well, that's a mistake. I continue with that. That's someone being fearful of this. What other people are going to think of them. So that's what you inherited. Right? I continue this with my children and grandchildren. So you continued not letting them see things? Wait, not trying to say this. So I was taught not to say anything, or, well, I would say encourage your children and grandchildren to say what they see, because you're shutting them down. You're shutting down a natural part of them. Why would you do that? Why would you shut them down? In those generations in the past, maybe they were religious based, so they didn't. But I think it's a responsibility for you to open them up. So start talking to them now about it. Ask them questions. Do you dream? What are your dreams about? Do you think there's an afterlife? Just having those types of questions now. It's a good idea to start thinking that way. Okay, we'll do one more. Okay. It might be a silly question. I like silly questions. I'm a silly questionnaire. Answer. But do you have a belief that a person like Jesus or Buddha will again reincarnate on Earth in our lifetime? What makes you think that the personality of Jesus or Buddha has not, or aspects of that being have not come back? So I would more likely say aspects of that soul that we recognize, that were told us Jesus or Buddha, that there are aspects of that being that might be back here on this earth or in another place. I would think that that could be. It could be. I don't know if it has happened, but it could personally be. So possibly be. Thank you. Well, thank you, everybody. And I'll see you tonight on Both Sides Now. We have a very special show. We had a great show last week. And tonight we have another special great show about Qigong, which I did for about a year, Qigong. And it's with Elena Rado, and an expert in, she's going to discuss the Tibetan Book of the Dead, the burrows that you go through, burrows. And she, she talked to her husband before he passed over, and they set up some kind of a connection. So that'll be very, very interesting. And she's also going to talk about her experience with UFOs, I think guides, the angelic kingdom, and so forth. So it'll be a really informative evening tonight on Both Sides Now Beyond. And that's 6:00 Pacific, and that's 9:00 Eastern. Okay. So thank you, everybody, and I hope to see you tonight. Okay. Bye-bye for now.